Welcome to the Real Estate Investing Morning Show with your hosts, Wayne and Gabby.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Canadian real estate investors. On today's show, you should be excited. Yeah, you should be really excited. Today, what? Today we're going to be talking all about my favorite Edmonton neighborhoods to invest in. Are you guys excited for this? Now that you know?
I feel like this is such a cool opportunity for people to I don't know, is it like a cheat code? This be like a cheat code? You get to you get to see into Wayne's brain and see where his favorite spots are and what you can get there. I don't know. I think it's pretty cool.
I'm going to be your game genie.
When you told me you were doing this, I was like, what? Why would you tell people?
Whatever. Figure it out.
I love it.
You know what I mean?
I love it.
No, I think it's going to be really good. We haven't done one of these in a very long time. And for most of you guys, you probably know this, we are big believers and lovers of the Edmonton real estate market. Mm-hmm. We've been investing here for over 15 years. We love this market, and I still continue to see lots of opportunity in the Edmonton real estate market for years to come on the purchasing side, I mean. And so this is your opportunity to, find out where we like to invest, what my favorite neighborhoods to invest are in Edmonton. So you can go and pick some up for yourself and get all the benefits of all of the profits and appreciation that come with it and cash flow.
Love it. It's going to be a good one. We have some people saying good morning already, so that's pretty awesome.
It's a live show, Gabby.
Yes, it is live. Yes.
Yeah, you got to tell people it's a live show. They don't know that it's a live show. So, yeah.
We have some live listeners joining us on YouTube right now. They're up with us this morning. They're ready for Friday to get started. Ooh, it looks like we have maybe somebody new coming in. I wonder who it is. You might know who it is. I feel like...
What?
Okay, who's D-Law? D-Law. David. Is that David? David, is that you? Is that you, David?
I have no idea.
Okay. We have Kirsten here says hello with a big wavy hand. We have Manny says good morning. Happy Friday.
If you guys want to join us on the live show, we broadcast live every weekday morning at 7 a.m. on YouTube. You can come and see our pretty faces and see us in real time. See us see all the conversation and the chatter before it gets edited out. If you think that all the things you hear on the podcast audio are crazy, there's no way they could have said that. Just imagine what we say before it
said
gets
something
edited.
worse. Wayne said something worse.
Join us live. All you got to do is just go to my YouTube channel, easily titled Wayne Hillier, and you'll find we broadcast the Canadian Real Estate Investing Morning Show live there every morning, like I said, at 7 a.m. And you could be a part of the conversation like all these lovely people. D Law, who is here, says the tickles are back. I'm getting.
It's David.
Okay. Is it David? Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I think he's like the self-proclaimed tickle monster.
Yeah, that's
he comes in with the tickles.
I don't know if that's one you want to go with, bud.
He's running with it.
Yeah. Okay.
Real stuff. Josh here. Josh says good morning. Stacy's back in the house. Says good morning, everyone, as well as Carmen. Yeah, good morning, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Is Carmen drinking?
Yeah, Carmen says, is it happy hour yet? Okay, Carmen's having a morning, I guess.
A morning drink?
I just meant like she's having a morning.
Morning.
She's
Well, let us know what's up.
Needs happy hour to hit.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know what's up with you guys. How was your week? Did you guys have a good week? We had a fucking crazy week.
What's going on these days? I just feel like the highs are high and the lows are low.
Yeah.
Anyone else feeling that it's like heightened energy right now? I don't know. I can't handle it. I don't know if I can take another roller coaster ride. I want to get off the roller coaster. I'm ready to get off.
Just been it comes in waves, and this wave is a fucking tsunami.
Yeah.
Right? It's but we're managing.
Yeah.
Last night basements flooded. I don't know how many of our properties, because it's in a complex that we own a bunch of properties. So we'll see this morning. But anyways, we found out that One of our townhouses had a flooded basement.
And that was just at the end of the night.
Yeah, well, they're like, oh, it's coming from the hot water tank. So we called it a plumber, and the plumber's like, no, it's actually coming from the sewer.
Yeah.
So what did you say? That's just what?
Oh, I said that was just at the end of the night. Like that was at like 9 p.m. or something.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Never
yeah.
mind everything else that happened.
Yeah, everything else that happened yesterday too. It was actually a pretty decent day in the beginning, and then it just kind of went sideways, and then it just got significantly worse. It's just been like that for weeks. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But you know, it's all just manageable. You know what I mean? But we just like to chill for a little bit. You know, maybe it'd be nice if we could have a day where we could just, I don't know, go for a walk or something and not have our phone blowing up. Of like all these catastrophic events and all this chaos.
Yeah. You know what I love though? I love like, because we've been sharing a lot of stuff that has been happening lately. Not all of it. I mean, gosh, we'd be here for hours trying to tell you all the crazy stuff that's happening these days. Yeah. But we have shared some stuff. And what I love is that we've had so many people go, oh, it happens to everybody.
Yeah.
Like it even happens to you guys.
Yeah.
And I think that's what we try to stress so much is that we are just regular people doing things that literally anybody could do. And that we've built something really cool and that doesn't make us untouchable, and stuff happens every single day to us too.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it does happen to us. And sometimes it happens in waves where lots of stuff goes wrong. And it really feels like these last like month or two, a lot has been going wrong. But I mean, we're still here. We're still grinding. We're still buying and renting and selling and doing all the things and making life happen for us, not to us. And we continue to just show up every day. And that's all you can do, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. It's it is also, you know, part of, you know, having a larger portfolio as well.
Yeah,
it just might seem like, oh my God, why is it so much? But then again, it's just it's relative to the size, right? And so, you know, if you had one property, the likelihood of it happening, you know, let's say a basement flood, is significantly lower than you having 100 properties.
Just exposure.
It's just exposure is all it is. So, but the cool part is that we were able to handle it in just so this happened in a way where, like, I was working on something, Gabby was working on something, she got a message and she responded to it after hours. She got it all handled. You know what I mean? She was able to deal with it while I was dealing with something else. And, I like that. I like that we were able to just do this all remotely. We talk about, you know, the remote property management, how we handle all of our properties remotely. We don't ever go to them. And, you know, dealing with a basement flood like that last night was all done by email and text. Yeah. And I wasn't even involved in any of it.
Yeah.
You know
Actually,
what I mean?
told Wayne after.
Yeah.
It's like, did you see the emails? He's like, what?
No, I didn't even know. Yeah. You know what I mean? And we self-manage our properties. And some people are like, oh, there's no way I could self-manage that many properties. It's doable. It's doable with the right systems, right? So you build the right systems, you get the right education, and you build the right team. And it's really, all of it is quite manageable. So we'll find out some more information as to like how it all played out last night. But, you know, I went to bed. You had a little bit of a rougher sleep. I think it was irrelevant to the situation. I slept like a baby last night.
Oh, I'm so happy to hear that.
Yeah, slept great. Had a great sleep and woke up feeling good after a great sleep. And today, I mean, I've got a home inspection report that I'll be expecting from our home inspector from an inspection yesterday. I've got another home inspection this morning that I'm going to go swing by and go check out while he's there. And then we got conditions removal today. Gonna be waiting on that. Just busy, you know what I mean? Lots of stuff going on. Lots of cool things. Buying, like you said, buying, renting, and selling. Gabby, we're moving and we're shaking.
Doing the things.
And things are good. Things are great. And our garden suites are getting built. I mean, HVAC was getting finished there this week at one of our properties, and electrical was getting finished at one of the other properties, and excavation starting at another property. It's things are moving, and all of our tenants are paying. I saw lots of rent coming in early yesterday. Like,
Yep.
things are going good.
Yeah.
Things are going good with
The
us.
floor is almost finished at the basement suite renovation that we had to replace the drain line. So that's coming along as well.
And I heard that the upstairs tenants wants her mom. Did I see that email correct this morning? Her mom wants to rent out the basement?
Yes, we have a family on the main floor, and the mother of the couple that's renting the main floor would like to potentially rent the basement suite.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
That's like perfect.
Yeah, primo.
Perfect. You know what I mean? Combination for tenants. I mean, upstairs.
Won't need to worry about people complaining about each other.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, they'll probably be fighting, but they're not going to bring us into it.
Yeah. Which is great.
Yeah.
Which is absolutely great. So I'm excited for that. That's one less vacancy, to kind of worry about as well. We got a lot of vacancies coming up here in the next couple of months.
Yeah.
Which is going to keep us quite busy. But that's good. I mean, I said all that to say that, like, a lot of things are going great. And I know it seems like a lot of things are going bad, but then you have to also look at how much is going great and how much is moving forward. Again, it's all relative to the size, right? And so we have, it seems like a lot of fucking crazy things going on, but at the same time, we've got a lot of great things going on too.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty excited. The one property that we had a home inspection on yesterday, you got to see it.
Yes.
Which was good. And that one there is going to be, I'm really excited for that property. I know that you were like, I think it was the flooring. I think Gabby didn't like the flooring. I brought Gabby to this property. I'm just like, I know you said you were going to divorce me. If you guys remember from last Friday's episode with Calvin, there was a property that Gabby, Keaton? Was it Keaton? Okay.
We were talking with Keaton about it.
Okay. Yeah. I know there was this property that I didn't get because I didn't get the offer accepted, and you said you were going to divorce me. But, like, check out this one that I got. And I thought this one was actually better. And I don't know if you're just, like, fucking with me or something, but, like, this property is significantly better. Significantly better. And you were like, meh. But anyways, I took Gabby to see that property. I think this one might be one of my favorite acquisitions yet.
Yeah.
As far as, like, makes me feel good.
Yeah.
I think that once the flooring and the kitchen cabinets are redone at some point, I think that will be one of the nicest ones we have.
It's great. I won't downplay it, and maybe I did, and I apologize for that. Wayne was super excited to show me, and he thought that I was just going to adore it. But I think the standard that he was comparing it to was they weren't comparable. They were just different. And so, yes, this unit, super cute. I think that tenants will love it. Has a few little touch-ups that need to be done, I would say, before it's like ready to go. Just one of the bedrooms I think needs to be painted, really.
Yeah.
And then some like just tinkering. It had like a great little backyard setup that actually like opened to like a baseball field and a school and stuff, which is really cool for that type of unit.
Yeah.
I think it'll be easy to rent, and I think people will love to stay there for sure. It just, the comparison wasn't there. You kept saying, you're going to love this one even more. You're going to love this one even more. So like I had these like super high expectations walking in, and I was like, oh, okay.
Did I oversell it?
Yeah, you oversold it.
You know what I think that I love about this property the most is that it's in a neighborhood that I've never bought in before.
Yes, totally unexpected. I was like, where are we?
Yeah. It's in a neighborhood called Lago Lindo.
Lago Lindo.
Lago Lindo. It reminds me of what's Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago? It reminds me of Mar-a-Lago. Is that what it's called? Donald Trump's little resort there? Yeah,
Lago Lindo. It's fun to say, and it's also like, who named it? It's like, where did this come from?
Yeah, Lago Lindo.
But it's interesting because you drive into the neighborhood and you almost feel like you're in like a different part of the city. Like it seems familiar. Because it was obviously just built at the same time as like other parts of the city, but really kind of like a nice, clean neighborhood. It seemed like there was a lot of like pride of ownership.
Yeah.
Really cute little like corner shopping center in the neighborhood that had like, it was like really nicely kept, like had like a little pub and corner store and like all those things in it. And yeah, there was just like a good feeling. I literally said to Wayne, I was like, where are we?
Yeah.
Like, where have we been transported
we
into?
We never go there. You want to know why? Because it's in like the deep north. The deep north. We've always been South Side people. And it is in the deep north. I mean, it is right up next to the wall. It is at Castle Black. It is like right there at the very, very, very top of Edmonton. Actually, while you're driving down the street, I'm like, that's the Henday right there. That's the wall, right? The only thing north of the wall out there is Wildlings and Morinville.
The Morinville Wildlings.
And Redwater. That's where the Wildlings are. Yeah, but it's like the wall was right there. We were sitting there right at this property is right at Castle Black. And so I don't ever go up there. Ever. And it's funny, we've always been, like I said, Southside people. All of our investments were always historically Southside. And then what's seemed to have happened is that all of the opportunities that we really loved in the Southside are no longer achievable anymore.
Yeah, drying up.
It's not that it's not that the properties aren't there. It's just that the returns that we are looking for are no longer achievable based off of the numbers. So we've started to branch into different areas, and we've started to adapt. Yeah. And so, a lot of these neighborhoods that I've listed off on my list, my top neighborhoods, you're going to find that they are relatively South Side. But I think that as maybe even as this year progresses, I might do another, segment and maybe Lago Lindo's on there. I don't know. I mean, I like it. I like it. You want to know why? Because I find that Lago Lindo, God, it's fun to say. I find that Lago Lindo is almost like an exact replica of the South Side. It's because I think that they were built at the same time.
Yeah, that's why I said it feels familiar. I think it's, I can't quite pinpoint exactly like what neighborhood I would match it with, which would be a fun exercise. You could probably think of a couple.
Yeah, I have a couple ideas.
But it's like Southside familiar. It's like it's just like picked up and like plopped up there, but almost nicer.
Yeah,
cleaner.
That's what I thought. I'm like, this is kind of like Mill Woods, but just nicer, and cleaner, and it's kind of like that newest season of Peacemaker, where they went into like this alternate dimension, but it was actually nicer and everything was so much cooler, and it was like all the things that were wrong were better. But I don't, spoiler alert if you haven't seen the newest season of Peacemaker, it turns out they were all Nazis. So
I have no idea what
I
you're
hope that
talking
Lago
about.
Lindo is not full of Nazis. I think this is a good time for a commercial break. We'll be right back.
Real estate investors need to treat debt differently than homeowners, and at Kirkland & Brennan Mortgage Group, we understand that. For the last 11 years, we've helped real estate investors plan and build their portfolios. We understand how to help you avoid fees, penalties, getting yourself stuck, and making sure that the deal you're doing today doesn't stop the deal you want to do tomorrow. You can reach out to Keaton, Keaton, at kbmortgages.ca. Put plan on the subject line, and we'll help you build a plan and then realize it for your real estate goals. We also coordinate with the other professionals like your accountant, lawyer, realtor, and we will help you build your portfolio. So reach out. We'll do our best to help. Thanks, guys.
You've got showings, lease signings, suite renos, condo board meetings, credit checks, mortgage financing, and every so often the tenant clogs the sink because they shoved macaroni down there. Stop. Breathe. Leave the bookkeeping to Fingo. Fingo is specialized real estate bookkeeping by real estate investors with tailored services for maximum returns. Save time. Enhance your returns. Claim the plumbing repair for that ridiculous macaroni fiasco. Book your free consultation at fingo.com.
Summer. While everyone's getting distracted, this is when the market gets quiet. Not because the opportunities disappear, but because the people do. Vacations, long weekends, these are the distractions I'm talking about. And that's exactly when serious investors make their moves. At Calvin Realty, this is one of our favorite windows. Less competition, more flexibility, and sellers who are actually open to negotiating. While everyone else is stepping away, we're stepping in. If you're looking to buy right, not just buy fast, this is your edge. Calvin Realty, opportunity doesn't take time off.
That's right. Opportunity does not take time off. Alrighty.
It's like there's a lot of live listeners pouring themselves some Irish coffee this morning.
Oh, is there now?
Yeah.
Nobody told me what they were up to this week or what's going on with their life. What's the deal? Am I the only one talking around here? There's nothing worse than like going to a party and you're the only one talking and nobody else wants to contribute to the conversation.
Does that happen at parties?
Oh yeah, I go to lots of parties.
You go to lots of parties and you do lots of talking.
Oh yeah, you should see the parties I go to.
Okay. We have Devin
Lots
here.
of yeah.
Devin's joining us and says, love the new setup. Usually listen to the podcast delayed. YouTube at 7 is perfect.
Oh, that's awesome.
Thank you for joining us, Devin.
Found a new friend.
Yay.
Are you gonna come every morning?
I hope so. I certainly hope so.
I don't have
We
my
better see you back here on Monday.
I don't have my sound clips. And one of these days, like I promise you, the sound clips will be back soon. We're just trying to.
What sound clip did you have in mind? What were you going to use?
You can figure it out later.
Okay. I won't, but.
But anyways, thank you for coming, Devin.
Yes, thank you. Stacy's working on some lease renewals going out this week. And Carmen looks like she went and took a welcome basket to a new tenant. That's
okay.
fun. Love that.
Very
Carmen,
cool.
what kind of welcome basket do you give your tenants? Curious.
Yeah, let us know. We got lots of new tenants moving in. Are we doing welcome baskets or are we done with that?
You know what? I kind of stopped with the welcome gifts. As your portfolio grows bigger and bigger,
You become shittier and shittier
you
landlords.
become a shittier and shittier landlord. These seemingly simple tasks become easy things to let go of when you're busy with other things. It's like, oh, I just don't have time to get to that. And then next thing you know, it's like the next tenant moves in and the next tenant moves in and you're like, yeah, I still don't got time to do any of that. And yeah, I haven't given out a welcome gift in, I don't know, probably well over a year.
Yeah.
Maybe longer. Maybe 2. Maybe 3. I don't know.
Time flies when you're
Time does fly.
buying properties.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's get into this, guys. Let's get into my favorite neighborhoods in Edmonton to invest in. These are based off of, they might not be my favorite right now, but they're my favorite historically. They are my favorite for reasons other than profitability. But I think the ability to the right tenant profile, the right areas, the right safety stuff, accessibility, those are all things that are really important to us. I think that really contribute to the longevity and success of a real estate investment property. And there's properties in those neighborhoods that suit, the types of assets that we're looking to acquire. Now, do the numbers necessarily work at this moment? Some do, some don't. Does that mean that they'll never again? No, definitely not. I mean, they could in the future, they could not. And again, the real estate market goes like this and the rental market goes like this, and it's always ever changing, and opportunities, they shift and change every few months. Yeah. So just know that these neighborhoods are Edmonton neighborhoods that we like, that I think that you can put these down on a list, on a sticky note and be like, okay, if I ever look in Edmonton, these are the neighborhoods I want to look in first to see if I can find something where the numbers work. Right? Let's start with that. Let's start with the tenants, let's start with the asset types, and then figure out the profitability next. Okay? So that way that these neighborhoods stay almost timeless. Okay? The first one I want to start with is a neighborhood that I really like for, it's not your fancy neighborhood of the city. It's not, it's not overlooking the river. It's not close to downtown with posh coffee shops. This is a working class neighborhood, but it's reliable and little to no crime. Like it's not a really, really bad area. And that neighborhood is called Ormsby Place.
West Edmonton.
A good working class neighborhood, right? And I like it for the accessibility.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that accessibility is going to, well, yeah, especially for this one. I do have a list of the other ones that you're going to talk about, but accessibility is huge when you're considering your tenant profile. You could buy anywhere in the city, literally anywhere. You could buy any property in any neighborhood in all of Edmonton, and you will eventually find a renter if you have it an appropriate price, priced within market rents.
Sure.
You'll eventually find somebody. But when we're talking about long-term tenants who are going to stay a long time, who, end up having their family like grow up at your property, accessibility is actually really important.
Yeah.
And yeah, Ormsby Place nails accessibility.
Do you know why specifically? Like, because there's a pocket right here. It's in a little pocket on the west end of Edmonton, but there's two major arteries that it's very, very, very close to, right?
Yeah. So super close to both the west side of the Anthony Henday, as well as the White Mud, which cuts directly through Edmonton. So you have the White Mud going through Edmonton, and you have the Anthony Henday, that's a big ring road around Edmonton. So you're right off of the west leg of that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you could hop onto that, or you could just hop up to the White Mud, and boom, you could get anywhere in the city.
Yeah, and even if you hit the Henday, the west leg of the Anthony Henday, and go north, you're 5 minutes on that road, and you could hit the Yellowhead as well and cut in over there. So it gives you lots of accessibility depending on where it is that your tenant works. They can easily get there, I'd say, within 20 to 25 minutes ish, depending on the time of day, of course. I mean, goddamn, that Henday is terrible at the end of the day. But ultimately, I'd say 20 to 25 minutes in most areas of the city. And that's good. Whereas like if you're, pick another area of the city where you're not close to any of those arteries, or you're only close to one of those, I mean, you could be significantly long. You could be 45 minutes trying to get to the other side of the city because of all the stoplights and other things. So Ormsby is really good for that. Ormsby is filled with the types of properties that would be in Ormsby. There might be like one or two multifamily properties, but these aren't multifamily properties that you're going to be buying as investors. These would be larger multifamily properties that are probably owned by larger equity firms. But I can't think of any, to be honest with you. I can't see any in my head. This neighborhood is primarily made up of single family homes and townhouses.
Yeah.
That's Ormsby Place.
Yeah.
We're looking at, middle range, what's the proper way of saying that? Mid-range price, not very, very high-end houses in that area. There'll be some larger 2,000 square foot houses that were built in the 70s and 80s, but like you're not going to find like not really like a high-end neighborhood. It's a working class neighborhood, so it'd be houses up to about $600,000, probably $700 maybe in like little pockets. Mm-hmm. But primarily, entry level homes, and townhouses, condo townhouses. And so depending on what your tenant profile is and what types of tenants you're trying to attract, you can rent to families for both, whether that be a single family house that's got a big yard and a garage, or a townhouse that's 3 bedrooms to a family that's looking for something a little bit more affordable. So there's options for both. Yeah.
And you also have all of the regular conveniences as well. There's a really great shopping center. There's a YMCA.
I was just about to do it. I was going to do the thing. You beat me to it.
Yeah. So, and the walkability also of like the shopping center in relation to a lot of like the townhouse complexes and that kind of convenience it's a really great area for rentals, like really great.
West Edmonton Mall is pretty close too.
Yes.
If I don't know if people just want to go and hang out there or not. I mean, I don't go to the West Edmonton Mall ever. But I don't know. I guess if it's important to your tenants. But they also have that the LRT is all almost, I don't even know. I haven't checked in on
I wouldn't
the
say
status.
almost, but it's well underway.
It's
Being
well
built
underway.
out way,
That leg of the LRT, which is, there's a stop there at the West Edmonton Mall, isn't there?
Yeah.
So if someone was to hop on a bus in the morning, excuse me.
Yeah, just they could take the bus right up 178, hop on the LRT, and away they go anywhere in the city.
Yeah.
Well, that the LRT goes.
That the LRT goes. So again,
yeah,
accessibility.
Even more convenient now.
Accessibility, right? Depending on if your tenants are looking for that type of transit.
Yeah.
Pardon me. Okay, so that is Ormsby Place. Number 2, which we're staying in the west end of Edmonton. An area that is completely different than Ormsby Place. This is an older neighborhood built in the 50s and 60s with tremendous opportunity. And by golly, has this neighborhood seen a huge change in the last 2 years?
What kind of change has it seen, Wayne?
Some might call it a facelift. Other people
Or a
might
face
call
job.
it too much Botox. But this neighborhood is called Jasper Park. Jasper Park has gotten is completely different in the last few years because of the new infill projects that have been I won't say littering, but overtaking the
Yes.
neighborhood. We
Yes.
do have an older neighborhood built in the 50s and 60s, and a lot of people saw a lot of opportunity with houses that were dilapidated, where normally those houses would get a bit of a facelift. They would get, some small injections of, life, and whether that be renovations and flipping, or whether that be adding secondary suites. That's what historically, that neighborhood would normally get. But with the new zoning changes, we saw huge opportunities for people who were looking to take advantage of those larger lots and get the highest and best use out of them.
So if this neighborhood is being overtaken by, this infill, why does it make your list of favorite neighborhoods? And I'll be honest. So Wayne put Jasper Park on his list of his favorite neighborhoods in Edmonton. It's not a neighborhood that I'm super familiar with. Of course, I know where it is. I've driven through it many times, but
We haven't had many properties in that area.
yeah, we haven't owned many properties in that area. So I'm actually curious to know, why do you love it so much?
I love a particular tenant profile, and that tenant profile is families, middle class, lower middle class, working families. At risk of being potentially judged for being judgmental, this is a business, and I take all the emotion and the out of the business and just look at it for what it is. I'm looking for clients, and I'm looking to sell them something. And the people that I'm looking, if this were a business and I wanted, let's just think about it this way. I want to buy a business where someone does business with me, and they continue to keep doing business with me for many, many years to come, so I can continue to keep being profitable as a business, right? I don't want to just sell someone one hamburger. I want them to come every morning or every day for a hamburger on the way home from work, and I want them to get an Egg McMuffin on the way to work with a coffee. How can I get these people to keep coming back every single day? Because reoccurring business is how you remain profitable. Trying to get new clients every single time it costs money, right? So how can I get someone who will love my product that I am selling and continue to keep doing business with me for years and years and years to come, right? That's what I'm trying to do here. So I have a rental property. I want someone who's going to stay for a very long time. Am I going to choose someone who is likely to buy a home in the next year or two?
No.
Do I want to choose someone who can barely afford my product?
No.
So I want someone right in between. Someone who can afford my product, who's never going to be like, oh, I don't have money today. I also want someone who is not going to, who doesn't make so much money that they're going to be like, oh, you know what? I want to buy my own store now. Or I want to source my own product, right? So I want someone who is in a position where financially they're right in that sweet pocket where they can afford it, but they're not going to ever likely save up for a down payment and buy their own house.
Okay.
It sounds bad when you say it out loud, but it's just, this is what I want, right? In order for my business to be profitable. I am not trying to attract a person who is going to be buying a property in a year or two from now. In fact, if someone was applying for my rental property and they said that, and I had somebody else, I would probably take the other person.
Okay.
Right? Because if this person's going to move in a year or two, then I have a potential for vacancy. I'm going to have to do touch-up paints. I might have to, repair some things after they move out because they scuff some walls, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And that's just not profitable for my business. Again, if I take all the human side out of it, the emotions out of it, what I want is I want someone to stay a long time. So I'd like to choose someone who stays a long time if I had the choice, right? But again, we are human beings, and I understand that could rub people the wrong way. I just want people to know that the reason why I bought this investment property was to get great returns, right? So I forgive me for trying to do what I set out to do in the first place. And I think that's the reason why all of you guys are getting into investments as well, is to provide housing, yes. However, if I had the choice, I would prefer to be profitable as possible. And my family expects that from me. My investors expect that from me. That's the whole reason why I got into this.
Okay. And so you're saying that Jasper Park provides...
Did I deflect your question?
You're saying that Jasper Park is the type of neighborhood that attracts this type of tenant profile?
It is a working class area. It is not a high-end area. It is full of single-family houses.
Okay, so it's you're kind of saying the same things that you said about Ormsby, but Ormsby, I would say, is more towards the townhouse. Of course, there are single family, but more townhouse heavy, whereas Jasper Park is more single family house heavy, but attracting that same working class mid-range.
So Jasper Park would be lesser desirable than Ormsby. And I would say the main reasons for that is because Jasper Park is on the inside of it. Are we doing the same thing?
Maybe.
It's a rectangle.
Okay.
Right? So it's in between 87 Avenue and 95 Avenue. Mm-hmm. And then you got 156th Street and 149th Street. Now, for those of you guys that know a little bit about Edmonton, 156th Street and 149th Street is just full of multifamily properties. Just
okay. Yeah.
So it's almost like on the inside of it, it's nothing but 1,000 square foot bungalows, just house after house after house after house after house, and then surrounding it is multifamily properties, almost just like a
frame, like a picture frame,
or castle walls. It's built inside nothing but multifamily. So it because of that, it gets a little bit more riffraff and people kind of walking
transient
around. Yeah. So it's not you're in an area where there might be more people kind of walking around with shopping carts. Let's just put it that way.
Snooping in your backyards. Yeah. What I was going to say is that, like, when we were first talking about Ormsby Place, it's kind of like in the lower corner of the city. And of course, we've now kind of built further out. So there is like sprawling newer stuff on the edge, but it's kind of like almost in a lower corner of the city. And so you're removed from the center of the city, right? And now when we're heading over to Jasper Park, it's almost like we're going like this up into, the camera's making me go backwards. It's if Ormsby Place was down here in the corner, it's like we're moving towards the center of the city with Jasper Park.
Yeah.
And anytime you move to towards the center of any city, you're getting towards where, like you just said, there's more riffraff. There's more.
It's the older side of the city. Yeah. It's not the oldest, but it's still relatively close to the West Edmonton Mall. It's just east of the West Edmonton Mall. I'd say maybe like a 2-minute to 5-minute drive tops, depending on how slow 87 Avenue is. But a good area. But again, it's an area that's I couldn't tell you how many streets are on it, but I mean, it's 87 Avenue to 95 Avenue and 149th Street to 156th Street. So you've got literally 8 avenues and 7 streets. So whatever, 56 streets. Is that, you know what I mean? And they run perpendicular to each other. But that whole area has been, all those 1,000 square foot bungalows built in the 50s are all getting torn down. If they're not torn down, they're boarded up and they've got a fence around it. They're about to be torn down. So it's obviously changed quite a bit, and that's now changing the dynamic of it. Whereas it used to be before, people would buy those houses with the side separate entrance or the rear separate entrance. And they would add secondary suites to them, which was very common for a period of time, about 8 to 10 years. But the opportunities have changed now. And now that opportunities have changed and you're allowed to do different things, strategies have changed. What that's basically done is that whole rectangle of 56 streets is now probably 80 new eightplexes. At least, one of these days when I'm bored and I have nothing to do
and count them.
Yeah, it'd be fun actually. No, it wouldn't. That sounds terrible actually. But maybe I'll pay someone to go do it. To go literally drive through all the streets and count how many new infill purpose-built rentals are in there.
You could probably just look up permits online.
Yeah, that could work too. But anyways, it's definitely different. But it's turning into a renter's neighborhood. Mm. That is an interesting thing, and I talk about this a lot. And today isn't the episode to go deep into that conversation, but you can look back into other episodes that I've talked about the infill development changes that have happened to Edmonton. But what's happened is that rectangle has basically turned what used to be a homeowners area, primarily homeowners, to nothing but renters. And in 20 years from now, I have a feeling that we're going to look back on it and be like, this would be the equivalent of us going into properties to buy and seeing carpet in the bathroom, be like, what the fuck were they doing? Mm-hmm. Or when they put flooring over top of beautiful hardwood, you're like, why would they cover this up? Why would they do this? So we look back at boomers and we laugh at them for all the silly things they did. I have a feeling 20, 30 years from now, people will look back and be like, what did they do? Why did you do this? Right. But yeah, that whole area between Jasper Park and West Jasper Place and Meadowlark Park, and it's all completely getting redone too. Nothing but you have infill properties in these rectangles filled, and then multifamily properties surrounding it, which is just nothing but a rental area. And I think that 20, 30 years from now, I'll end my thought on this. I want you guys to remember this for future conversations. I think in the future I think that whole area will just be nothing but rentals because they're all purpose built for rentals. And people will say, don't go buy in the west end of Edmonton. That's just rental alley.
Right.
Why would you buy a home in rental alley where it's nothing but tenants?
Yeah. You
would prefer to live where people own houses. And it's just going to change the way we look at things.
Yeah.
It's almost kind of like a movie where it's just like I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to get at here is that the wealthy live over here and then the not so wealthy live over there, and there's a train tracks of where this is what I believe in the future. It's not how I feel, but I feel that this is the way that it's going to be perceived in the future, is that you don't buy a home in that area because it's nothing but renters over there.
Right. We have Calvin on the show next week, don't we?
Yes.
Yeah. I'd like to just ask him, point blank, from a realtor perspective, having clients who are trying to sell homes as well as people looking to buy homes, how this landscape has changed the ability to sell houses within these neighborhoods where you have certain neighborhoods where you can clearly see this is where people are picking up these lots. They're bigger lots. They're the appropriate size to be able to build these things on. How difficult has it become to sell those lots as homes? Mm. You know what I mean? And when you have clients coming to purchase properties, is this now a part of their checklist? Keep me out of these neighborhoods? You know what I mean?
I don't think so yet, but it's coming. We do need to finish. I want to get to these other neighborhoods because this would not.
I'm gonna.
I still think this is one of my favorite neighborhoods historically, but I think that in years from now, I think that I'll laugh at the fact that I said that. Yeah. Is what I'm getting.
Remind me next week when Kelvin's on the show, you guys, live listeners. Remind me to ask him.
I think that this is what I say. It's this is not what I believe. I just know that in the future, I think that the perspective is going to change. You're right. I think a lot of people don't want to buy here because they're afraid that someone's going to tear down the house next door.
Yeah.
I think in the future, you would never buy there because of the fact that all of these things are around. I think it's going to dramatically decrease whatever's left of that. Whoever those old fuckers are that are like waving their finger, at the monoliths and things like that. Whoever's left in the future, I think their property values are going to plummet.
Yeah,
because
I'd be trying
nobody
to dump
will
it right
buy
now
whatever's left.
if I owned. Yeah.
I think they should get out while they still can, while it's still high. There's still a high demand for it from developers. That's my personal opinion. Because the second that they can't develop anymore, the developers aren't going to want to buy those houses. The homeowners aren't going to want to buy those houses. And then nobody's going to want to buy those houses. Yeah. Which is going to dramatically decrease the demand, which will decrease the property value. I'm calling it now. You hear that, ChatGPT? Sorry. I transcribe everything for record. So everything that I've ever said is all transcribed. So, by the way, I've built the perfect database because I have thousands of hours of everything that I say. So in the future, when people say that I never said that, it's all transcribed. So I'm just pointing this out for the future, so that. And
for anyone who wants to challenge him.
For anyone that ever wants to challenge me, everything that I say is saved. Isn't that cool?
It's very cool.
Yeah, it's a perfect I told you so for the future. Okay. I like Jasper Park.
What's next? That's how you're ending that one?
There's a question mark going beside Jasper Park now, actually. Now that I wasn't what I was planning. But single family houses and suited houses. That's what currently is the opportunity. Okay, so I'm gonna go a different end of the city. We're gonna go north of the Yellowhead. Which is they consider to be the north side of Edmonton. I think.
So we've gone like this to like this, and now we're going.
We're gonna go north. We're gonna go north of the Yellowhead, and I think that's what anything north of the Yellowhead, I think, is what you consider the north side. And it's not too far north of the Yellowhead. It would almost be. I consider it to be very similar to Jasper Park. Jasper Park is a vertical rectangle, whereas Kensington is a horizontal rectangle, but it's about the same size, I think. Let's just look at the map here. Yeah,
Have you said the neighborhood?
Kensington's a little bit. Kensington is a little bit bigger than Jasper Park. Kensington is made up of a few more streets. It's between 132nd Avenue and 137th, which is 5 avenues, and then 127th Street to 113. So it's a little bit wider. It's got a little bit more streets, a little bit bigger, but built around the same time, 50s and 60s. More 60s, a little bit afterwards. But same kind of thing, primarily built up full of 1,000 to 1,100 square foot bungalows, primarily.
Yes. Yeah, I'd say almost entirely.
90 to 95%. Yeah. You'll have a couple pockets where there's some, different houses that, someone tore down and built something.
Carmen says lots of duplexes as well. Yeah.
Lots of duplexes as well. Yeah. But, decent sized lots similar to Jasper Park. We're seeing, a little bit of infill happening, but not so much because the prices are a little bit higher. And because the properties were a little bit older in Jasper Park, more of 1950s, it's just there was a little, and the area, and like I said, it's just the vibe in that area. The houses were a little bit more dilapidated, and you can get better deals in Jasper Park and the end of the West Edmonton. Whereas in Kensington, it's not so much. It's a little bit more pride of ownership. Yeah. Less of the riffraff.
Further away from the center.
Yeah.
Of the
city, you don't have any multifamily properties in that area at all. Mm-hmm. So there's a little bit more pride of ownership, a lot more owners in that area. Mm-hmm. And therefore, what you have is very similar, lots of single family houses and houses, suited houses with basement suites. During that run where everybody was adding basement suites for 8 to 10 years there, lots of them were built in Kensington.
Yeah.
Lots of them are built in Kensington. So if you're ever looking for a suited house, you're probably going to find a lot in Kensington. And then just your single family, homes for, families. And I think that the fact that it's more of there's more of a pride of ownership. There's more homeowners in that area. It's just a little bit nicer, a little bit cleaner, and it would be a little bit more desirable for a family to live there, whether that be in a main floor suite or in a full house, than in other areas of the city. And it's also a working class area. It's not a high-end area. There is nothing nearby that says bougie at all. It is a working class area. North of you, you've got, I don't know what shopping center that is at like 137 Ave. I don't know if it has a name or not.
Like the huge strip.
The huge strip
of shopping. It just goes for like blocks and blocks and blocks. Yeah,
137 is a decent artery for getting through. It's not a highway, but it's a decent artery for kind of getting through one side to the other side of the city. And I guess for buses as well. You got lots of shopping in that area, but it's not like a trendy area at all. It's not.
I think what I like about Kensington and kind of like the neighboring neighborhoods around that area, like right below that 137, is when you go there, it's kind of, and you get into the neighborhoods, like off of 137 and you're in the neighborhoods. I find that there's like a really high ratio of like schools and like green space, like park space. So like in like Kensington and like Wellington, I can't remember all the names of those neighborhoods up there, but there's like, it's almost like every like kind of like block that you enter into, you're like, oh wow, there's another school and there's another field and there's more walkways. Like it feels like families would settle in there for a long time.
Yeah. And there is a lot of older families there.
Yeah.
Old fellers is out there, cutting their lawn or fixing the car out in the back. Working class families that have been living there for 20, 30, 40 years. That's what it's a lot of. What's the future of Kensington, decades from now? Hard to say. I mean, development opportunities perhaps depends on how badly we need more homes in Canada decades from now. But, decades from now, that pocket of the city will definitely be the next one that it's like, okay, we need to densify more. But for the time being, for the next 20 to 30 years, I think it will be an area that will be, I don't see anyone touching that area because there's not a whole lot of opportunity based on today's circumstances. But again, years from now, that will be the next development area, right? But for right now, I love it. If you love suited houses, Kensington's fantastic for it. Yes. Proximity to that shopping area. Proximity to 137 Ave is not your best artery to kind of get around. But if you got to get from the west to the east or the east to the west, wherever, I mean, that's a decent road to take with a lot of stoplights.
Yeah.
But you are in a pocket there. It doesn't have as much accessibility as some of the other areas I was talking about, like Ormsby. It doesn't have very good accessibility. It's kind of hard to get from one end of the city to the other. This is a 45-minute commute in that area. Yeah,
you're going to more so have people where the convenience will be if they work on that side of the city, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If that's where they conduct their lives, if maybe they have family living on the north end, those types of things.
Yeah. Okay, so we went north, and that'll be the only one north of the Yellowhead, I think, today. Because I want to go back to south. And I've told you guys, historically, we've always been south people. We've always, the numbers and the opportunities were always in the south when we were getting started. That's where we lived a lot of when we were younger. We prefer the south. It was the area that I was most comfortable with, and it was the area that had the most opportunities. And so I'm going to surprise Gabby here because I didn't tell her this. And I think you guys are going to be a little bit surprised too. But one area I think for tenant profile, for the type of people that I want to rent to get the best types of properties, I think that people will stay the longest. And I took into consideration affordability for us as well as investors because you want to make sure the numbers work. I chose two neighborhoods. I put them together.
Okay.
I chose Ellerslie and Summerside.
Okay.
What are your thoughts?
Very family friendly. I'll give it that. Very family friendly. I'm not a huge lover of Ellerslie and Summerside. I find that so it's kind of like its own little pocket. And I find that like the style of the neighborhoods is like its own unique, maybe because it's like, I want to say like considered one of the newer, even though now it's old. It just proves how long I've been here. But I feel like the style of neighborhoods I'm not crazy about. And so that's why I'm like hesitant about it.
I would never live there.
Yeah. But
so many people love living there. And
a lot of people
for decades
love living there. They've made it very family friendly. There's like, they've built like lakes in there that actually have like beaches and stuff. A lot of the neighborhoods have like, what do you call them?
Community centers?
Yeah, but not exactly. But yeah, let's just call it a community center. But that actually has like lots of stuff happening at them.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, like they built tons of parks and all that kind of stuff. So
Edward Scissorhands would live there.
I'd say maybe not quite that dramatic, but yeah. I see what you're trying to say. Yeah. So yeah, you did surprise me. I wouldn't call the area my favorite, but easy to rent.
Okay, so here's the thing, and maybe it's been
crowded streets. I think that's what I hate about it. Crowded streets,
very crowded, very crammed, very
lots of cars on the street.
Everybody outside going like this.
Not my favorite.
Not my favorite.
Tell
me
why it made the list.
Okay, so they were built 20 years ago now, right? So they're a little bit older now. When they were built, if you asked anybody. And anybody said, "Hey, I'm going to be buying my first house. Yeah, we just got pre-approved and talking to my realtor. Susie buys houses and she's taking me down and we're going to go and shop this weekend." "Oh, whereabouts are you going?" "Oh, we're going to Ellerslie." That's what literally everybody would say. And every first-time home buyer was like, "We're going to Ellerslie. I can't wait. I got this beautiful house." And you look at it and this beautiful house looks exactly the same as the other 30 houses on the street and the 30 houses on the other street. And everybody's like,
yeah.
But their faces are like they don't move.
In a sense,
Anyways.
I feel like Ellerslie and Summerside, like when they were being built. And so actually this year, 2026.
Sorry to everyone who lives in Ellerslie.
2026 is actually my 20th year in Edmonton, in Alberta.
Congratulations.
I moved in 2006. And so I think that kind of, it kind of shows that like that's the time when I was kind of like moving here and settling in here was when this area was just being built.
Yeah.
And I think I might be wrong because also I've only been here for 20 years, although it feels long, it's also a short amount of time. But I feel like it's the first time that Edmonton really started like copy pasting in neighborhoods. Yes. Like up until that point, everything was kind of unique. You could go into any neighborhood and like the house beside you was different from the house beside them, which is different. But this was the first time where it was like same.
So the reason why I chose it was because that at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the fuck we think.
True.
This is an investment property. This is a business, and I'm looking for a particular type of person, and I'm going to give them what they want. What do they want? If they want that, then I'm going to get that, right? So if I can make the numbers work in that area, which is difficult to do, but now it's 20 years old, so it might be a little bit easier to make the numbers work now, and rents are going up and prices are set. So as long as we can make the numbers work, this is the type of area where I can get the type of tenant that I want that's going to stay for a very long time.
Okay.
That's why. Would I live there myself? Absolutely not. I feel like I'm in a one of those horror movies that you don't know it's a horror movie and you can kind of feel it's like something bad's about to happen here. Everybody's too nice in this town.
Is it like the Burrows?
It's kind of, a little bit. But that's why Ellerslie and Summerside. Personally, it's not an area that I want to be living in. It has zero character, there's nothing unique about it, but it's where people want to live and where there's lots of options and community centers and parks and shopping centers and everything you need is all in that area. It's also in the southeast side, so you can hop on either the Highway 2 if you're going south, or you can take the Anthony Henday, and it's probably a 30 to 45 minute commute depending on where you're going in the city, but that's where people want to be. And if that's what people want, then you give the people what they want. You don't force a particular type of asset on them if they don't want that.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's why I said Ellerslie and Summerside. The reason why I didn't choose the southwest side of Edmonton is because it's newer and the prices are a little bit higher. So if I had to choose one, if I had to choose north, east, northwest, not much in northwest, but west, southeast, southwest. Southeast was the oldest, so therefore I feel like the numbers are going to work the best. Out of the four.
Yeah, and when you go southwest, it's like kind of more bougie as well. Like,
Windermere.
Yeah.
It's that's where it's just a little
more money.
Little more. It's same, pretty much the same, just a little bit bigger and a little more expensive.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit harder to actually. It's very hard to make the numbers work in those areas. Okay, here's the last one I got for you. This one's a pretty simple one. I think that this is. I'd say, for a very long time, this would be where I would try and buy all of my properties. Because the numbers worked, the tenant profile worked. It checked all the boxes for me. I haven't bought in this area in quite some time because the numbers haven't necessarily worked anymore. But that area is Lakewood.
Lakewood, so that's in Millwoods.
Southeast Millwoods, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you betcha. Lakewood is real quick before I move into Lakewood. I see someone asking about how about Rutherford Southwest. Rutherford's a very, very close. You know what? I looked. I'm like, maybe Rutherford. Maybe it was a little bit newer than Ellerslie and Summerside. It was built around the same time as Summerside. I've owned in Rutherford. We've owned properties in Rutherford, and but
I don't like Rutherford. I don't like the types of properties that were built in Rutherford.
That's the other thing.
They started to change the type of property that was being built, and it's not rental friendly in a lot of cases. Yeah,
a lot of condo apartments. But anyways, back to Lakewood. Lakewood is a 1960s, 1970s area in Millwoods. I've liked Millwoods for a very long time. If I could get all my properties in Millwoods, that's for a time, that was it. That was all. Yeah. Lakewood is an area that is, it's not going to be, you're not going to find your early 1960s, 1970s multifamily properties like in Jasper Park. You may find some apartments, but they're going to be larger apartments. But more so what you're going to find is a lot of townhouses and single family houses. Mm-hmm. Not your rectangle boxes like your 1,000 square foot bungalows, but a lot of bi-levels, a lot of splits, a lot of houses with front attached garages, a little bit of bungalows, half duplexes, side-by-side duplexes, a good mixture in that area, and tons and tons and tons and tons of townhouse complexes, condo townhouses. Yeah. So it's a good variety. The area is a working class area, a little lower end. But, for the type of tenant profile that we're looking for, it really has lots of options, right? Shopping centers in the area, they're old shopping centers, though. This isn't a bad side of the city. It's just, the desirability is a little, it's like, meh, it's Millwoods. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I think what I like about Lakewood when we're talking about kind of like in comparison to different neighborhoods of Millwoods in general is I like that Lakewood kind of sits like right off of the 91 Street corridor. Mm-hmm. And so it's like a street in Edmonton that goes north and south where the speed limit is 70 kilometers an hour compared to like 50 or 60 everywhere else. And so a lot of people jump on it if they're like, making their way through, they'll jump on it so that they can go up or down quicker. Yeah. But it gets you, that 91 Street gets you either up to the White Mud or down again to the Anthony Henday, or even like 23rd is a pretty good corridor that goes across as well. So it's like, it's this little pocket where you can still hop off and get everywhere you need to go pretty quickly. Whereas a lot of other neighborhoods within Millwoods are kind of like, you're buried in this like maze of, like it's no longer on a grid system. It's like northwest east road, and this road is west northeast south road. It's like all these really confusing streets.
You're
like,
stuck.
This doesn't make sense. Where am I? Yeah, you get stuck in this like maze. So I like that it's just there. You can get off and go wherever you need to go.
And a lot of the, like if you were at the 50th Street or 75th Street or 34th Street or 17th Street, any of those other major streets going north and south in Mill Woods, not all of them have connections to the Anthony Henday at the bottom.
Yeah.
Some of them you might have to get over to 34th Street. I don't even know if 34th has an access. 50th Street does. So you might go from 34th, but you got to get over to 50th, you know, and then get down so that way you can get on the Anthony Henday. And then it's accessibility is not the greatest in the area. You know, the LRT is now on 75th, which is helpful. But I don't think it was nearly as valuable as what they made it out to seem when they were building it. So many people were saying, you got to buy close to 75th Street because the LRT's coming there. It's going to help your tenants get downtown so much. But the truth is that most of the tenants that live in Mill Woods don't really work downtown. It's a working class area. Yeah. And so, I don't know. At that time, they were saying, like, you got to a couple blocks off of 75th. It's the values are going to go up like crazy. They never did. They never did. And in fact, it actually just made things a lot more difficult getting around that area because that stupid train. How many people have hit that train?
Too many.
Holy shit.
Too many.
Just a few weeks ago, somebody made a right and hit the train. Big fire. Anyways, I've come close twice. I was like, I almost got hit by a train.
When you're not used to it, you need to pay attention.
But that's the thing. It's the thing is that, like, I know that area pretty well. I don't go around it very much, but like, God damn, it's actually made it more difficult and more confusing for people trying to get in and around there. Yeah. And it didn't really help the values at all. And so anyways, what I'm trying to get at is that accessibility is quite difficult in that area now, you know, and there was a time where I really, really, really loved that area. I still love it for tenant profile. I still love it because of the fact that I don't think infill development will ever come in there and just like overtake it. There's a little bit going on. A little bit, but the lots are smaller than on the west end of Edmonton. Yeah. And so therefore there's not a whole lot of opportunity for developers to take advantage of it. So I think it will remain untouched for the time being. I'm
going to be honest. I actually didn't really realize that until you just said it. I'm like trying to think of a development like in Mill Woods, like an infill, like eightplex, and I can't picture one.
There's a few. Yeah. There's a few, but they're tucked away, and you got to, like, the lots aren't big enough.
Yeah. No, it makes perfect sense.
You're talking about 450, 500 square meters.
I never made that connection is all. Yeah.
You're not finding any 750 square meters.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah, it's you're not gonna really find that. So, therefore, it'll remain untouched, and I think what'll happen if decades from now, they'll just get really, really old. And then you'll just start seeing people building duplexes inside of them. But like as far as development opportunities, there's nothing really there. I think it'll just get worse and worse and worse and worse and less desirable from decades from now. But for right now, it's just a working class kind of mediocre area where tenants stay a long time. And again, it's not the sexiest investment. It's not what everybody wants, but truthfully, it's what everybody needs. That's the type of stuff that like, it's the 7-Eleven hot dogs and taquitos. You know what I mean? Why do they have those hot dogs just spinning there? Like, who the fuck is eating it? Like, I was in 7-Eleven just recently. I know we're like 10 minutes over on the show, but I got to tell you, I was in 7-Eleven and I got out because my daughter wanted a Slurpee or something, and I had to use the washroom, and I felt so dirty afterwards. And like, so I'm like, can you get me the hand sanitizer, please? And it's just like, I'm doing it on my hands, and I just felt like I almost needed to take a bath in this hand sanitizer. It's just like 7-Eleven. That's kind of Mill Woods. If you've been in a 7-Eleven, any 7-Eleven, there is not one nice 7-Eleven, right? They're all 40 years old.
Dirty, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they don't wash the floors.
Yeah, the bathrooms are horrific.
You know what I mean? That's kind of Mill Woods, and most people are like, I don't want to buy those. But you know what? 7-Elevens are very fucking profitable. People still come there every day and they eat those greasy fucking taquitos and hot dogs and things like that. And, you know, of 20 bags of chips there, one of them probably has a mouse that's gone and made its way through. You know what I mean? You got to check the bag to make sure that there's no holes in it.
You're being dramatic.
I am being a little dramatic, but I'm trying to paint a picture because a lot of people go to Mill Woods in certain areas. They're just like, I don't know. I just like, I was kind of hoping to have like a really nice house, something I'd be proud of, something that I would live in. But the truth is that that's not the business that we're in.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm just being real with you. And you know what? Maybe I'm at risk. This is at the risk of me looking like an idiot, sounding judgmental. But the truth is that I'm the only one that's telling you the truth. I'm the only one that's speaking the truth and being honest with you and not filling you with some unrealistic dream of what this business actually is. I'm the only one that's telling you what it actually is. And the sooner you realize it and come to terms with it, the sooner you're going to be more successful. Right? So I'm willing to put my neck out in order, at risk of being judged, so that you guys can actually get the true honest answers, the true honest information that you actually need so you can buy the right properties, right? And you're welcome, I guess. But those are my 5 favorites.
Awesome.
Nothing sexy on that list, eh?
No, but I'm not sure that rental property areas are supposed to be sexy.
They're
not
not.
talking about dream homes.
That's the moral of the story, kids.
I could have told you, I could have argued with Wayne about Millwoods. There are some really great neighborhoods with really beautiful houses that back onto the ravine and that sort of thing. It exists. Not all of Millwoods. It feels dingy, but
I wouldn't buy them
but
for
we
rental
wouldn't
properties.
buy them. They wouldn't be the areas that we owned rental properties in.
Right?
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Plain and simple, guys.
Yeah.
That wraps up today's show. Is today Friday?
Today's Friday.
I guess that wraps up the week as well.
Yeah.
I really hope that you guys enjoyed this. I really hope that you enjoyed this week. And for next week, I have no idea where we're going with this. I mean, I know that next Friday we have Calvin Hexter on the show. We're going to be getting the most up-to-date Edmonton real estate stats to see what's going on, see if anything's changed in the last month since he was on the show. And I don't know what else we're going to do for the other 4 days, but if there's anything that you guys want us to cover, anything that you're struggling with that you don't understand, or perhaps you've got a bit of a blockage or a roadblock that's preventing you from moving forward, feel free to join us live at 7 a.m. on YouTube. Or what you can do is you can email in your questions to info@reimorningshow.com. We will gladly answer any of your questions and provide free coaching for you, so that way you can take action next week immediately, right? There are amazing opportunities out there, but they might not be out there forever. The market is constantly changing, right? So I want to see you guys taking action now, not later. We'll see you guys next week.
Have a great weekend.
Thanks for listening. Want to be coached personally by Wayne and Gabby? Then you should join the Real Estate Investing Masters Mentorship Program. Details are in the show notes to get started.